Oh, we're live.
We're live. Happy Tuesday, Adam.
Happy Tuesday, Lucas.
How are you today?
I am well.
I'm well too.
You know why?
Why?
Because I finished Celeste.
I finished Celeste also. Here is Celeste. And I finished it. And I will say the physical copy actually has a little instruction manual, and it's pretty cute. But yeah, I finished Celeste, and hopefully we had some other people that finished or did their darndest to finish Celeste.
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't finish it, that's fine.
It's fine.
Michael said he's so proud.
I gotta get my comments. Or you got a comment picker, right?
What?
Do we have comment picker tonight?
Yeah, we can put him up on the screen.
Oh, sweet. That's right. We were using StreamYard tonight. But yeah, Celeste. So everybody chime in. Let us know that you're here in the game club discussion. And we are on what you said. We're on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube tonight.
We're on every platform tonight.
Pick your poison.
Because this is Game Club. This is our monthly live discussion. This month we played Celeste, a tough as nails platforming experience that is. Okay, did I say tough as nails?
It's tough as nails.
It's tough as nails. Now, when I say I finished, James, we expect that you're going to have a lot to say about this game since this is your favorite game of all time, which makes me think that you are a masochist.
I'm not going to lie. So
no, not a masochist, a sadist. Wait, what's the one that likes pain? Masochist.
Masochist.
Yeah, you like pain. Basically, what I'm saying, because this game. So when I say I finished Celeste, I don't mean that I got all the strawberries and found all the secret areas and did the DLC. I mean that I just got to the top of the mountain.
Barely.
I got there because I think it's one thing that I think would be fun to talk about tonight is like how many times did you die?
Okay, so Adam, you start, and guys, y'all chime in the comments. Let us know in Celeste how many times playing the main story did you die? Go ahead, Adam. You start.
I got 38 out of 175 strawberries.
Okay.
So after a while, I just said, "F those strawberries. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do the strawberry. I see you, strawberry, and I see like that you're in this whole room, and then I'm gonna have to like do some magic to get there, but I am not about that."
No.
Completed it in what looks like 6 hours,
That's
5
good.
minutes and 11 seconds, and I died 947 times. Hey, Emily.
Hey, Emily. Welcome. Okay, so again, comment in the comments. Let us know how many strawberries and how many times you died.
Michael, you got all the strawberries.
You got all the strawberries.
Got all the strawberries, but it took you 5,700 deaths. Good Lord.
Wow. So I guess
Omaki says emojis.
Mine is hello Omaki. Welcome to the stream.
Yes.
Okay, so I kind of doubled you, Adam, almost. I had 78 strawberries.
Okay.
And I died 2,196 times.
Oh my goodness.
So I will say it looks kind of proportional, like your strawberry count to death,
yes,
my strawberry count to death, and then God bless Michael and getting every single strawberry in his deaths.
You love punishment. Mike Jankytown's here says got 127 strawberries, 9.5 hours, 977 deaths. That's a pretty good ratio. That's
pretty good. I'm not counting my playtime because I let games sit for a long time and I'll just go away and I'll come back because this is not proportional. I have 14 hours logged, but those are multiple times of me just walking away in frustration and having to collect myself. And
I think Michael is still like recovering from this experience, having died 5,715 times. Hi, Wesley.
Hey, Wesley. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
I want to know, Wesley, how did you like Celeste and how far did you get? Because this was a really tough game.
This was
so tough. This is the hardest game I have played in a very long time. And we can get into it and talk about your most difficult spots, your most loved spots. We'll go through the gambit of this game tonight. But right now, we're just trying to figure out how many strawberries, how many deaths did you have, and did you beat the game? Adam, let me ask you this: did you have to turn assist mode on ever?
No, I did not.
Bravo.
I just powered through it, and Christy was sitting next to me a lot of times while I was playing, and she could hear the controller start breaking in my hands, like start cracking. So I was like, and she, and I'm using this Xbox controller, and whenever you die, it vibrates pretty significantly.
Yeah.
So like it's like, pew, bah! So like Christy could hear every time I died, not only from the sound of the game, but yeah, I started to combine curse words. It was like doing roll call, basically.
Janky town. I agree, and a lot of times Gabe, my 10-year-old son, was next to me watching, and so the amount of new curse words or inflections upon or biting my tongue that I had to do while playing this game was pretty outstanding. I commend myself for my creativity.
Yeah. No, you had to be like, James is working on the C-side. Did you get into any of the B-side? I played one of the B-sides on a stream, and
no, he's beaten the B-sides.
Oh my god! No, I was asking you.
Me?
Yeah. Did you do any of the
No,
B-sides?
I only unlocked like 2 of. Look, I'm not gonna lie. When I beat this game, I did turn assist mode on at the very end because I was so drained that I was just like, and okay, I will have to say, I think part of this is my controller, because I swear there's a lot of times I'm hitting left or right and it will make me jump up and left or up and right.
Okay,
and
I had
so
that problem too.
I had so much trouble at the end, and I got to flag number 8 or 9, and I was like, I've got a book to read. I've just got to finish this game. And I turned it on. No shame. I'm not even ashamed of this. And I turned on invincibility and ultimate dashes, and I just went bam right to the top. Right to the top. And I said, screw this. I'm going to beat this game. So I did that. And no, I can't play level 8 because I only unlocked one of the blue hearts.
Yeah, I don't know if I even got any of those. Wesley says, "Does anybody know how to get to chapter 8?" You have to get all those like crystal hearts or something.
Yeah,
like
so you have to get 4 out of the 7. And James, you're our resident guru. Correct us if we're wrong. But this game tired me out so much, and maybe it's because we played it in a succinct amount of time. But it's a hard game to kind of come back to, or leave for periods. But I definitely had to play in like 30 to 45-minute spurts at maximum. I don't know. Y'all chime in. How were you able to do this in big spurts, or did you kind of have to break it up? Adam, what about you?
I did it a chapter at a time. So however long it took me to get through a chapter was how I like powered through it. And oh my god, it was hard. But hard. Like, and learning the mechanics of each section, each chapter, because each chapter had its own like gimmick.
Yeah, play mechanic. So you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of been a long time since I've played like the first few chapters.
So chapter 1, you're in the city, and that one is all about getting on the platforms that move to give you the momentum to either go up or to fling yourself. Chapter 2 is when you first meet, someone said Battlein, your reflection, and that's where you're going through the goo bubbles. That was a cool level, very tough, but so that was the mechanic. Goo? Yeah, the space goo. So you'd be able to shoot left or right or up. Yeah. And then level 3 was
the library. The hotel.
The hotel, and so you had the little vines and the creepy crawly stuff on the floor that you had to navigate, and you couldn't. It would grow up wherever you stepped. Level 4 was the clouds and the wind.
Oh, that wind!
The wind! Oh my god! That when the wind was kicking, and you're just like, I'm sitting here like jamming my controller down, like trying to.
And he's,
and then level 5 was the mirror temple, right? I believe it's a mirror temple, and so
Yeah.
that one was all about those red ball. Oh, level 4, you also had the blue balls that would like when you jumped into it, you'd have to hit the direction you'd want, and it would spit you out.
Oh yeah.
Level 5, you had the red balls that would kind of
Just take you.
take you all over the map. But there were some cool moments there where you'd find a secret, and it all of a sudden you would go God knows how far, like 3 or 4 screens. And then level 6 was those like they were like thwomps from Mario. Remember, you'd have to like bash them, and they would get angry,
Yeah.
and they'd be like, "Rrr," and
Yeah.
they'd go, and the movable platforms, which took me forever to kind of figure out that they moved, and the feather.
Oh, the feather. That was awesome. I like the feather.
I have a complaint about the feather, and y'all tell me if you have a similar complaint. So I'm playing on Switch, and I found with the feather that I had to I played this game with the D-pad. So when I was playing like a normal level, I played with the D-pad. But when I got the feather, I had to switch to the analog stick to better control myself.
Yeah, the analog stick was clutch for the feather. I played
Yes.
it. I played it using an Xbox One controller,
Okay.
and I played it using an analog stick the whole
entire time?
And I think it might. Sometimes I think it was a help, and sometimes I think it was a detriment because I had the same problem where like I know what I want to do, like I want to go diagonal,
Right.
but it either just go straight up or like straight to the side. Because like I just wasn't pushing the right direction or whatever. But so that was a source of frustration, was being like, I know what I have to do, but
Yeah.
I'm just not doing it with my fingers. It's like this is a physical limitation for me.
No, and I'll say like I like that the game breaks it into screens for the most part, because otherwise I would have given up well before I did at flag 7 or 8. I'm holding my Xbox controller right now. I think the D-pad's a little better on the Switch Pro controller.
Yeah, although the Pro controller, I don't know if you have the issue. Mine's on the floor, but the Pro controller D-pad has like a known thing where like it's not like the most accurate. Like sometimes.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah.
that makes me feel better. Like seriously, because I felt at times I was like, I'm hitting left, I am hitting right, and
But you
I
went
would
up.
and I went up at an angle, either left or right, and of course it would just throw me into spikes, and
Yeah.
it drove me crazy.
Yeah, no, I did that a lot, even with the analog stick. But with the feather, like the analog stick was like, I don't know how you do it without the analog stick. Just like
That makes me feel better, because honestly, for a minute I was like, "Oh, I'm really not good." So James, thank you for your affirmation that it was okay.
but yeah, that's so diff. But like there were most of the time when I died, I can admit that it was me.
Yes,
I can admit that it like this is not a problem with the game. This is a problem with me just not having the muscle memory to. I mean, there were so many. Sometimes I would just nail a section. I would just go all the way through and be like, "Oh, cool." And then other time, then I get to the next screen, and it would take me. I would have to like learn it basically by learn by doing. That's what this game is. Is like
Yeah.
learn by doing. It's like trial and error. It's like, well, I know I have to go from here to here. Let's just start and see what happens. Okay, no, I know I have to go do it, and then try that, and then now I got to get to the next section. It's like mastering sections of the screen at a time.
Yep.
So until you can chain it all together and then get there, and then immediately forget what you did. So if I were to go back and play the game again, Wesley's asking, did anybody have problems with their jumping?
Yes, all the time, Wesley. You are not alone, sir. I mean, seriously. Oh, Gene, thank you for the stars and welcome.
Well, hey.
Yeah, Wesley, I look, I've been playing video games my entire life, and there were moments where, like Adam was saying, I know exactly what I had to do, and especially in some of those longer sections where, like in the last level where you're trying to team up with your doppelganger in order to get up to the next rung of the mountain. I knew exactly what I had to do, but it's just like I could not make my hands physically do it at times, and it's really frustrating. But like Adam said, also, you know what you're not doing. It's just like there's so many split-second timing things with this game that you have to get right. And I mean, really like pixel perfect moments that can be great, but also infuriating.
Yeah, there were also times when I impressed myself when I like learned how to do it, because there were some things that seemed so kind of complicated and convoluted, not immediately evident. Like, there's a trampoline on the wall and you have to like do and then hit that, and then like, I'm like, oh, I'm really impressed that I actually figured this out.
Yeah, no, the game does a good job teaching you that, and I like those trampoline parts. I like the little smiley face bumper, like pinball bumpers. That was kind of fun because once you finally get the hang of that, I was like, oh, this is cool. But then also every level had its moments where I just wanted to pull my hair out.
The thing that I wanted more than anything else was a way to recover. Like that you can get yourself into situations where there's nothing left to do but die. Like there's no like safety net or anything like that. So like, like if if we're talking like Mario Maker, sometimes when you do stuff like that, it's like a soft lock and you have to die basically to move forward or to restart. And that in Mario Maker land is considered to be a bad thing when you like soft lock a level and you have to basically like let the time run out or like kill yourself with the enemies in order to be able to start the level over. Not so in Celeste, although it was frustrating for me. When I would, I'd be like, and I'd just be like hanging on a wall and I don't have any dashes left.
Yeah, and you're just like, yep.
Well, here I go. Yep, there goes the spikes.
I remember one in level 6 where it was a longer screen. You had to jump on one of those platforms that you move around. So when you jump on it, you can move it up and down. And you had to jump on it, move it down, jump over some spikes, land on it just fast enough to move it up, jump to the side, grab onto it, keep going, jump again, land on another smaller platform to go up in order to jump back on that thing. And it was just, and if you miss it the first time, you're just like, well, fall into the spikes. I got to try again.
Yeah, James says, I found the moments of pure elation after having conquered a difficult section far outweighed the frustration of dying over and over again. And I had some of those moments. And I think part of the problem for me was that I was playing this in a time constraint because I needed to finish it by today so that we could talk about it. But and I finished it yesterday. And so, James, when you played it, were you able to just sort of play it at your leisure? Because I feel like if I was just sort of, well, I don't know if I would finish it if I was playing it by myself. But if I wasn't like trying to like reach a deadline in playing a game, I might relish those moments more as opposed to just being like, oh, finally. I mean, I had those moments of like, yes, I did it. And I would look at Christy and I'd be like, I did it. She'd be like, that's great. But I mean, and I think that's what this game is designed to do. And we read a lot of the reviews. It got a 10 out of 10 on IGN. And a lot of the reviews say like, the feeling of like figuring out and overcoming the challenge is like unlike anything else you experience in gaming. And I guess I can see that. It's just super hard.
Yeah. I definitely see that. And look, this game, you can tell that this game was made by gamers because they have so many little nods and Easter eggs. And, but yeah, I think for me, the difficulty, and I've played difficult games, but I think it was a little overbearing in moments. But again, Adam, I think with the time constraint, but I don't know if I would have finished this game. I think I probably would have given up if we didn't have our peer pressure of Game Club to hold each other accountable and get through so we can discuss it. And it's no different than our book club, right? Like we've had books that we've had to kind of power through in moments because they were just either harder to get through reading wise, or we didn't like the story. I liked this. I liked the premise, and it's a simple premise. But yeah, so hard. I will say, Adam, what's one of your favorite moments of this game?
Moments?
Yeah, like did you have like a screen or a moment where you were just like, oh, this is so good? Like,
Well, I don't know. Maybe we can segue because some of my favorite moments was actually like story related, like
Okay.
especially towards the end when you've teamed up with your worse half, and you finally sort of come to terms with each other, and now you're helping each other get to the top. And you have like the double jump, the double dash now,
Double
and you've
dash.
got like
Yeah.
and you see these, you get to these little blue orbs where you're sort of helping each other, and then you're like climbing. That was like a fun
That was
moment for
cool.
me. Whether you're climbing back up to the top of the mountain, like it took you all the way down the mountain, and you're climbing back up. And I think this game did something interesting. Like it didn't have to do this. It could have done like a Super Meat Boy and just had like a very superficial "gotta save the princess" type story. But like this one, like has if you look at just the story bits, this is somebody trying to like wrestle with their own like
Depression,
demons, like
anxiety,
yeah,
yeah, whatever it is.
like this person has skeletons in their closet and they're trying to like face them basically by climbing this mountain which has mystical abilities to make you face yourself. And you have side characters like Theo and the old woman,
Mr. Oshiro,
Mr. Oshiro,
yep.
and somebody battling their inner demons and then learning to accept. This is not like I need to get rid of you. It's like you are a part of me. Let me realize like how to
work with you.
How to work with you.
Yeah.
So I like that, and Theo was interesting, like Mr. Selfie.
Yeah, he had some good one-liners. There are a couple of good one-liners in there.
Game had a good mix of humor. There was some humorous stuff in there, and like the way that the voices change, like when she would be like,
yeah.
But then when it all sort of came together, and you're not just sort of trying to traverse seemingly sort of random sections, and it's about you actually working with the part of you to climb back up when you've fallen all the way back down. Like I like that, and I think that came together really well.
Yeah,
that was some of my favorite.
Yeah, I think that last level, it's like the perfect what am I going to say? It's reintroducing you to little segments of the entire game, right?
Yeah.
But you're more powerful now, and so it feels a little bit breezier. You're comfortable in that, and so and they were long enough to be satisfying, but short enough to not be like, oh my god, can this please end? And like you said, when you're finally teaming up at the end to get to the next level with battling, that was really cool. I had one moment of pure whimsy, and I'm going to post this in the club because it's in level 4, so it's in the cloud level, which is a really pretty level. I love the sunset. It's where you find the blue heart. And so when I walked into this room, there's this white block, yay big, with these screws in the corners, and I was like, I know that block. That's a block from Super Mario Brothers 3. And I was bouncing around. I was like, what is up here? How do I get? And so I went over to the white block and I ducked down, and lo and behold, I went into the background of the room and I was able to climb up to the top and get the blue heart. And I had this moment of like, oh my god, they made this Easter egg.
That's amazing. I didn't even find that room.
They made an Easter egg of one of my favorite, one of the best all-time platformers. And so I'll post a video of that section, but it's in level 4. I don't know how the heck to get to it anymore, but yeah, you see this white block, you duck down and you go ploop, and then all of a sudden you're in the background and you can climb to the top and get the blue star. And it just, it was so cool. That was honestly one of my very favorite moments of the game, was just that nod to Super Mario Brothers 3.
It's like telling your math when you're a math teacher and you're like, when am I ever going to use this? And then like,
but it was that simple realization of like, I know what this is. I know what to do. I'm smart enough, game. Because that was the only blue heart that I got in the entire game.
Well, that's amazing, and I wish I had found that. I wonder if I would have known what to do. Probably.
You would have known. Come on, Adam.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have
known. Did you say I wouldn't have known?
No, you would have known because you love Super Mario 3.
I do love Mario 3. But that's amazing. I need to, I'll boot it back up. But then I got to get there.
You can just watch my video.
Yeah, I'll just watch your video. But I mean, that's cool. I mean, the game has a lot of depth. Like there's, B sides and C sides and hidden collectibles and strawberries. Like it, it's as challenging as you want it to be. If you want more punishment, you can get more punishment. Like the game is itself is punishing. But if you want more, if you're like, well, that's too easy. I beat it the first time without dying. What's
Oof.
next? You think anybody's ever? No, it's impossible.
No,
It's
no.
impossible.
There's you could sneeze and die in this game. I mean, I mean, it's too much. Um,
And
James,
James,
James, of course, you're here for the punishment. We know, friend. Um,
it's so punishing.
so, I'll tell you a punishing moment, and this was one of the moments where I was like, "Oh, this is really cool. Here's another little Easter egg," and ooh, maybe if I thought it was part of the level. So in the hotel, you go through this like laundry chute type area, and there's like a little hidden wall, and there's a little computer room where like Mr. Oshie, and there's like a little note, and there's this little computer, and you load it up, and it's like Pico, and all of a sudden it is basically they put the original developed game, and James, correct me if I'm wrong, they built the original Celeste demo in like 4 days with two people or something, and it's really simplistic, but you can play that, and I think you unlock it at the very end of the game. But I was like, oh, cool. And I'd seen this because when I was doing some research on this game, I came across it, and you can actually play it online if you type in Pico Celeste. You can play the original one, but you have to play it with a keyboard. It is impossible with a keyboard.
Oh my
So
gosh.
so I played it, and I was like, oh, because I thought it was part of the level because you're in this hotel, it's mysterious, you're trying to help this guy, put away his towels and all this other stuff. But then you can play through this. It's 40 levels, and all you can get is strawberries. And it took me. I died like 400 times, and I got 8 strawberries. And I text James, and I was like, James, do you have to do this section? He's like, no. I was like, okay, just
I'm
beat it.
out.
That was a frustrating moment, but it's cool that you can play the original game within the game. I love that.
Michael says there are golden strawberries that require you to get it at the beginning and finish the whole level without dying in every level.
Shut up, Michael. Just shut up.
I'm not going to do it.
No, I have more games to play. I'm so grateful that I experienced this game. I really am. It is hard. I'm not a completionist anymore because I have so many, like just looking at my peripheral vision right here, I have so many games that I'm looking at that I'll never get to. And I'm glad I experienced it. I don't think I'll go back because I was hoping, so I went back to the first level and I was hoping that it was going to be sort of a new game plus where I got to keep my second dash because I was like, oh, that'll be cool. And I think I would have been more inclined to play through it with the double dash at the beginning levels. Easy mode. I mean, I guess you could do it with assist mode, but it didn't. And so I was just like, fare thee well, Celeste. I did kind of conquer you. I cheated at the end, but yeah.
Did anybody else rename their character?
I just went with Madeline because I couldn't think of anything else good, and most of the time I do rename characters, but I didn't this time.
I named mine Christy.
Well, because she's redhead. That works.
And then I started dying a lot. Christy was like, "Why?
Why?
What did you rename your characters? If you did,
Wesley, what did you rename your character? I want to know.
Because it's interesting they gave you a choice. I mean, it's like, I guess it's like Commander Shepard in Mass Effect, where like he has a default look, but you can make him look like you if you want. And I tried, but it ended up looking like a weird, emaciated Keanu Reeves.
I think they all did. I always went with women.
And I played through the whole series like that. Wesley just did it. His name shortened to Wes.
Okay.
But yeah, did anybody else besides James go for the B sides? And apparently they're C sides, and I can't even imagine what, like, because again, we did a live stream where when I first started playing Celeste, and I played through like half of a B side, and I got through like this very difficult section, And I was like, yes. And then it turned out it led into another section where evil you is chasing you. And I was like, oh, I can't do this anymore.
No, I said turn it
Um,
off, Adam. I can't watch you play this anymore.
yeah, I was like, I can't. You're gonna see evil Adam in a second. You're gonna see that part of me that comes out and just like starts raging. Uh, but like C-sides, even harder
I can't even. Mm-mm.
than B-sides. Uh, Wesley tried. Michael tried briefly. This game is like, I mean, you have to be like pixel perfect.
But I see the allure. If you like this type of game, I mean this, and James, I know like you love this game. Um, if you're into that super tough platforming thing, it's a super deep game because of that. I mean, because if you've got Seasides and Golden Strawberries and all this stuff, you really have three complete games plus the little mini Pico thing. It's a lot of content for the money.
Yeah, and then you unlock chapter 8 if you get all the hearts, and
Mm-mm.
like
No,
then you're in the cave. Apparently, you're like down in the down deep.
I went into the cave and then I was like, yeah, I don't. No, I'm not gonna go back to find blue hearts. I'm
Are
sorry,
you
old lady.
serious? If there are D sides, it's just like impossible. It's just like it probably you're just like surrounded by spikes, and if you move at all, you will die. That's what I feel
Mm-mm.
like a D side would be. It's like you're just in a room, you're like, and then like there's one pixel around you, and then spikes, and then like if you touch the controller, you're dead. That's what a D side is.
I mean, even some of the. I remember in I think it was level 6. Yeah, where if you go off the beaten path to go find some strawberries and you find yourself in some of these more difficult areas, just getting um like a strawberry or something, like there's a spot where it's like a little nook with one of those spiky things going back and forth, and you had to jump diagonally to hit this button to drop the gate, and then like it was a split-second thing, and there were two of them in the same room, and I was just like, oh my god. I have a question. Did anyone find there like these gems? There were like 6 gems, like one for every level, and if you go into one secret area in the last level, there's this screen, and I'll post this. um there's a screen. Let me get I screenshotted this. I did not get all the video like I normally do, guys, because I couldn't focus on getting screen capture and doing this. So I've got a picture here, and James, let me know. So there are these gems, and I got one in the hotel. There's this laundry room, and you had to like dash to the right, dash to the right, dash up, dash. So you couldn't hit the walls because there were those goo monsters over the entire thing. So you had to be like perfectly in sync to get this gem. And then at the very end, oh, okay. There's 6 gems. So there's a star, like some kind of hexagon. Anyway, and that unlocks the last heart in World 7, I'm guessing. But I mean, look, that's a lot of content, and there's a lot of layers to that. But there's no way I'm going to go back and find all those.
Yeah, I mean, you look at this game, and on the surface, it seems like very straightforward, and like it is what it is. But like then you realize that like you can get a lot out of this game if you want. And James is saying if you don't check out the B sides, go on YouTube and listen to the music for each level. There's a remix for each song, and they're all amazing. Mirror Temple B side remix slaps. Slaps like I slap my controller every time I died.
So I will say the music is great, and like the music, Adam, to kind of talk about what you talked about at the last level and how it kind of builds and builds. The music builds too, right? Like it starts kind of simple, but then like it adds another backbeat once you get to the second screen, and then it adds more, and so you're building up to the culmination, to the pinnacle. That was really cool. But the music's great. They did a fantastic job with the music. The art style's great. I can't complain about anything artistically with this game.
Yeah, no, I mean it's pixel art. It's nice. The cutscenes are drawn cartoony style.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just, yeah, there's it doesn't, you don't need anything high tech with this game.
No. So I want to know, Adam, did you have a favorite level? Like, was there one level in particular that you found maybe enjoying more just because of maybe you got the mechanics of it, or you like the style or the music? What if you had to
Um,
pick a level? Which one would be your favorite?
Again, I was grooving at the end, both when you're climbing back up the mountain and then when you're at that final stretch when you have the flags. I was grooving. I was like, you know, I was gonna do it, and I think it was because I could see like the light at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
There was to flip that and talk about like the part that I liked the least.
Okay, what
It's,
did you like the least?
it's when you're battling your darker self. Like that just went on forever. It went on forever, and it's not just like you know you have heart platforming, but also she has this laser beam that's like got like laser sights and will like hit you and then start shooting bullets at you, and it's just like, okay, like I get it, this is a boss battle, but the boss battle was a whole thing. It was like it just went on. They could have shortened that, and I would have been like just as satisfied. But like it was like the ending of Lord of the Rings 3, the Return of the King, where it's like it ended and then it ended and then it ended and then it ended. It was like just just okay, I
Just
did
did
it.
it.
I did it. How many times do I have to kick her in the head? Like I
Yeah,
did it.
I
Um
keep going. Sorry.
I'm just ranting because like there were enjoyable, satisfying parts to it, but I think my beef was that it just kept going. And James says that part is so good. Yeah, but long. It's long.
It's long.
It's long.
I think level 6 was my least favorite. Um, there it structurally, like, I never knew which way to go, but I was just hoping for the best, and I think it's just you just end up kind of in the right place. But
Which one's level 6?
level 6 is the crystal caverns where you fall and you've got the feather and
Oh yeah.
the in that level where you're fighting battling. I think that was probably my least favorite level. I liked aspects of that battle, but yeah, there were moments where, and I saved some screens because I was like, I'm going to share this into the group of screens that I hate, or screens that I just I was. There were moments in this game where I was like, I'm going to have to go to my friends on Tuesday, August 25th, and tell them that I could not beat this game. I mean, legit, there were multiple screens where I was just like, I can't do this. I have no idea. I can't do it. And yeah, but I liked level 5. I think that was a chill level. It wasn't too difficult, but it had some cool mechanics, and I liked the music. So I think and I liked level 2 with the blob things until she started chasing you. I hate when people I hate when people chase me in games almost as much as I hate timers. I don't like to be limited.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad that the chase thing didn't come back really, because I was like, this is gonna be a recurring thing, and I'm gonna be upset because it's an extra level of anxiety that I don't need. It's again, it's like when you're battling her and she's shooting at you, and like it's hard enough just to get there, but like I'm doing the platforming right finally, and then I run into her laser beam or to her bullet, and I'm like,
and yeah, and Mr. Oshiro had a little bit of chasey stuff. You're right, Wesley. But I felt like he was more manageable because I thought like level 1 was manageable. Level 2 starts out like kind of eerie and nothing's happening, and you're like, well, okay, I can't get through these things. Status update: I beat a B-side. Now I can rest.
rest easy, Mike.
Rest easy, Mike. Have a drink and just chill out for the rest of the night, my man.
Now go and rest our heroes. That's from the poorly translated ending of Ghostbusters for NES.
Oh, I remember that. So,
Congratulations.
so y'all in the comments, let us know. Did you have a favorite level, a favorite part, or was there a part that you just did not like at all? Um,
And the
we,
reason,
we
one of the reasons I think I like the ending section so much was because it was like you were playing a mini version of the game. Like you got each chapter again,
Yep.
and that was fun to relive and to revisit and to remember. Oh yeah, and then like it had like some satisfying like you would get to the end and she would springboard you to the next level and it would say now you're 2,500 feet up and that was fun. That was fun for me.
I did like that. I like the flags. I thought they did a really good job with the flags because it further drives home like, I've got 10 more to go. I got 5 more to go. I'm just going to cheat from here on out because I don't care anymore and I'm going to blow through it. But I like the flags. They did some really good things just with pacing and visual things to get you through, because it's just like, if I can get to this next one, and I did, and then there were some that I was just like, I can't do it. My controller's not working right, and I gave up.
I flags were and I just mode but like at 20 whatever you start at god like how that I gotta do like really at first and I think it's like climbing a mountain. You're like I have how far um and I will just the biggest sense of euphoria that I got when I reached that flag at the top and I obviously like you've made it to the top of the mountain but like when I made it I felt like I had climbed a mountain and like I got to that flag and I was just like I did it. I did it.
And then your bowels released, and
Yeah, everything.
It's just,
Yeah,
it's like,
because every muscle in my body was tense for a good like several hours, for a good like however long I played, 6 hours.
Yeah, I think I just hit a point where in those crystal sections in it's like flag, it's like 15 down to 8 or something, and I hit a point where I was just like, no, that last one was impossible. How do you expect me to do this now? And James, I'm really glad that, or Adam, I can't remember if it's you or James that like said that there's known issues with the D-pad on this, because I felt like I just totally sucked throughout that whole section.
Yeah, you can if you Google like Pro Controller D-pad, you'll see that it like sometimes it gets like false inputs, and I experienced that playing Tetris and Shovel Knight, because like in Tetris, obviously like when you push up, it's like quick drop, and I'm trying to move a piece to the right, and then all of a sudden it quick drops, and you're like, why did that happen?
That.
But
Wesley
yeah,
wants to know: is it just me, or did anyone else take a whole bunch of screenshots? I take screenshots on Switch. I don't know how to get them off. I don't ever take my memory card out. I'm assuming I just pop my memory card out. If you know, let me know. But I take moments of either cool stuff that I found or super frustrating, and I could not focus on capturing moments of this game for our discussion and playing it at the same time. It was too stressful, so I didn't.
I didn't take any screenshots, but I did take a picture with my phone when it got me to that final screen that told me like my stats, with everybody. And it's interesting. I think there's got to be like multiple endings depending on how many strawberries you get. Because I didn't get many strawberries, and they were like, this pie is disgusting.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They were like, we can't. I only got like 30 something strawberries. And they were like, this is inedible.
You're like, I can't eat your junk pie, Celeste.
And then like
Madeline.
Evil you is like, it's not that bad. And then you're like, you don't have to be nice. And she's like, yeah, sorry, yeah, it's bad. And like they just trashed my pie.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't know. Yeah, like I'm not logged into my Facebook on my. I don't know my password. I'm just gonna have to pull my memory card out, and I'll post. If you have your final screen, I'll post mine, and y'all can post yours into that. And then Adam, I'm gonna post that that white block so you can see the Mario 3 moment.
I bet they did, Michael. You got all of them.
So Michael, how I want to know, did you get all of these at starting this game at the beginning of the month? Because I can't remember if you started this previously and came back to it, or did you start playing this at the beginning of the month? I'd like to know that. James, of course they loved your pie. They didn't hate my pie.
They hated mine. Like they were like, "This is disgusting." She was like, I knew it was going to happen too." And she was like, "I'm going to make a pie with all the strawberries." I was like, "I didn't get a lot of strawberries."
Oh, that's funny.
So yeah, they're different endings. They definitely are. Janky Town says, "I'm sad Theo didn't get his awesome selfie on the summit."
Wah, Theo.
You did, Michael.
I want to see a 0 strawberry ending.
I did start at the beginning of the month. Wow.
Wow, Michael. Props,
The
dude.
first week?
That's crazy, man.
Did
How
you
many
do anything
hours?
else?
Yeah, how many hours did you have in? Because like James, I know has been playing this game forever, so I I take that with a grain of salt if he said he did all that, but he's been playing it since as long as I can remember.
Wow. Yeah, there's an option to post from Switch to Twitter or Facebook. Most people upload it as a private photo. I guess you can save it that way.
Yeah, I want to post it to the group, so I'll pull my SD card out and post some stuff in the group afterwards.
Yeah, but that's funny that they have all the different endings based on how many strawberries you get. It's like, strawberries don't. It tells you at the beginning of the game, like strawberries are just for fun. You don't need to get them.
Yeah,
and then there's the ending based on how many strawberries you get.
I was trying to go through my photos. And my daughter has like all these Animal Crossing ones in here, and I'm like, what is all this garbage? They all look the same.
Michael says this is all he played, 13 hours or so. Yeah, I did 6 hours, so you're more than doubled me in my playtime. It felt like longer.
It felt like longer. This felt like a longer. I think it's because you're using so much of your mental and physical capacity when you're playing this game that you're really fully invested. Like you can't. And I tried to play this for a little bit handheld on my Switch, and I couldn't do it. The controls are they're not good enough. So God bless anyone who beat the game just in handheld mode, because I don't think the controls are really ideal for that type of gameplay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that like it's caused Joy-Con drift.
Yeah, no doubt.
Single-handedly with how, like, because like especially in the wind where like literally like I know it doesn't do any good. It's like when I lean when I play Rocket League, but I'm smashing the control stick. I'm like, and you like really feel the wind. It's like amazing how much like just slowing your character down and giving an animation can like make you feel like you're actually going up against the wind. And the wind had different speeds.
Mm-hmm.
When the wind was at your back,
that was fun. I love that too.
But like jumping, like being like it's like blowing really hard at you, and then you have to like try to like you're just gonna
you're like dash, and then you're like, oh, I missed it. Yeah,
it's a lot of tears. If I cried, this is not like playing Wander Song or Elite Beat Agents. It's a different kind of cry.
Yeah.
Just like and then the release when I got to the top of the mountain finally and could say that I beat this game. Didn't complete it, but beat it.
Well, I'm kind of sad that Dan Lafferty's not in the chat, because he changed his name on our Discord. I can't remember exactly. I'm going to go to our Discord and find it. But I'm guessing by his screen name that he sucks at is. I think that's what it was.
Dan sucks at Celeste.
Yeah, Dan sucks at Celeste. So Wesley, you have to let us know if your dad beat this game or not, or did he give up and cry, or did you see your dad cry?
Yeah, was he huddled in the corner, grasping his legs and just be like rocking? Because I did that.
uh,
Every night after finishing playing a play through of Celeste, I would just weep, weep
yeah,
sob.
it was a tough game, but like I said, I'm really glad I played it. I bought this a long time ago at James' recommendation, and I remember playing the first level and liking it. But then, like a lot of games, I just stopped. Oh, look at this in the back. Oh, I'm gonna take a picture of this, guys, and I'm gonna try to put it up on the screen. It is a so this last thing is an. I'm trying to get a focus.
It's focused.
It's all the different endings that you can see. So I'll take a picture of that and put it in the club.
Mine are like. Wesley says that Dan didn't make it too far. Luckily, he didn't cry. And James says, "Time to pick up Dark Souls, boys." So I have Dark Souls for the Xbox 360, and I started it, and I was like, "Why is this game? Why? Why is this game?" It's like 3D Celeste, I guess, where you're just like monsters just surprise you and kill you. Dark Souls is brutal. I've started it, but I did not get very far.
That's not one for me.
I don't know. I don't know how people make it to the end of that one.
This is a great little instruction book. Yeah, it's got all the controls. Like, I mean, Adam, you looked at your Super Mario Brothers instruction books over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's what that looks like.
Yeah, so that's super cool.
That's awesome.
But I'll take some pictures. I'll take a picture of this, the endings, because they do definitely. And the pie changes too, and it's like it's really beautiful if you start to. Oh, and even your bad self starts to like it. So I'll take a picture of that. That's funny.
Yeah, I have a picture of my ending. See if it'll.
Yeah, my people are content.
They're just like,
What did you do?
So it's interesting. You know, I have had this game on my wish list for a long time. I had it on my Switch wish list, and then I got it when they did the bundle for racial justice, on itch, and finally was able to have it. But and the reason I had it on my wish list was because literally every journalistic outlet gave this game a glowing review. Again, IGN gave it a 10 out of 10. Kotaku had nothing but amazing things to say about it. I think Tim Rogers did a video that was just like gushing about Celeste. So like I wanted to know what the hype was about, and 10 out of 10 reviews don't come around all that often. And so like that's why it was on my wish list, and I'm glad I got around to playing it. So here's the question. IGN 10 out of 10. Do you agree? Is this a 10 out of 10 game? James thinks it is.
James thinks it's a 12 out of 10 game. No, not for me personally. I think it's very good. I can't fault. It's hard for me to fault it, other than for me, and this will sound like I just suck at video games, which I kind of do. It's just too hard. Like I couldn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to, but like I can't fault the art style. I can't fault the music. It's just, it's not my, at the end of the day, it's not my cup of tea. But that's okay. That's why we have a game club, so we can try different games and branch out of our established genres, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Wesley's giving it about an 8.5.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be close to that too, Wesley.
Hey, Joe.
I don't. It's like I want to give it a 9, but like my personal enjoyment was just a little impacted because of how hard it was. But that's me personally. But again, I see the value. Even buying this. So I bought a physical copy. It's $34.99. But I got a cool little instruction book. I got a case. I like that, and I can resell it. Like, unlike you people that have it digitally, haha. But was it worth that? Heck yeah. To me, that's a $40 game all day long, and I'm glad I played it. But it's, for me, I can't go back and do all of the digging to find all the stuff, because I have so many other games that I want to play too. But I did it. I enjoyed it. I would say it's a solid 8.5. It's a solid game. It's just, it's not my go-to style with the brutality of it.
So Michael says honestly probably a 9 or 9.5. Mike says it's too hard, but I would say it's a best in class game, so I'm fine with the 10 out of 10. Joe's giving it a 7. So
Okay.
here's my thing, and here's what I'm doing. I'm separating my experience from the game and trying to look at the game objectively. And I think I fall in line with something somewhere around what like Mike said, because like for what it is and for what it does, this game does it perfectly. Like as a that sort of tough as nails platform with a lot of depth and a lot of replayability. If you're into that like kind of game, you look at like all the elements of the game, it nails it. Like
Yep.
So this this game, this game to me is I have to look at it like I would look at a movie like The Godfather, and that like The Godfather is a cinematic masterpiece for what it is. It's like books and essays have been written about The Godfather as a movie. It like tops best movie lists. I don't like watching The Godfather. It's not my kind of movie. But I can appreciate it for what it is. I can appreciate its artistic value and its cinematic value. So this game for me, like I can appreciate the hell out of this game. Like for what it does, like it has mastered. It's a lesson in level design. It's the controls are tight. The music is beautiful. The art style is beautiful. Everything about this game does what it's supposed to. It's like Mike said, it's a best in class game.
Totally. When you frame it like that, Adam, I 100% agree. And if someone came to me and they're like, "Hey, Lucas, Adam, I'm looking for a really cool platformer," and I would say, "Are you up to a challenge?" And they'd be like, "Heck yeah!" Then you want to play Celeste, right? I mean, I can't think of a better platformer in that class. Would I want to play it like that? No, but yes, when you frame it like that with the level design, the music, everything, and there's some heartstrings that get pulled, definitely a best in class game that warrants that. It's just it's not my total cup of tea, but I appreciate it, and I'm so glad that everyone voted for it so I could experience it, because I would have given up.
Yeah, I probably would have given up too. I mean, I give up easily.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't like hook me, and this game is hard. It is very, very hard. But it's
again, rewarding.
Like, it's rewarding, but it also like the only thing that is going to get you through this game is you and your ability to overcome the difficulty. And it is achievable because we all did it. We all made it through the game. But like it depends solely on your skill and like learning and like mastering. And I think that's there are a lot of games that like to hold your hand, or that like you can sort of game the system. Like the first person shooters nowadays, if you want to recover your health, all you have to do is duck behind a box for 10 seconds and you're good to go.
Wait for the color of the screen to change.
But yeah, and like James says, it's a game that makes you better at games. It's I don't know if it makes you better at games as a whole, although I can see the argument, but it's a game that makes you better at it as a game. If that makes sense? Like it's a game that makes you better at it. Like you can chart your progress, and you can say like, and it's the patience and perseverance it teaches you is invaluable, if you ask me. And I can see that. I can agree with that. And like, because I mean, that's if we put on my old man glasses, that's what games used to be, right? Like it used to be about patience and perseverance. If you wanted to get that high score on Donkey Kong, you can do all you want, but like it's up to you to like figure it out and learn the system. Nowadays, the games these days are less about like patience and perseverance, and I think I fall victim to that too when I say like I would give up, because like it's a level of difficulty that I just I don't have time for, or like like I don't have the patience for and perseverance. But I think you're right, James, in that like teaching those skills or those traits, I think it paid off.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know how I'm going to use it in the real world, but But
Well,
yeah,
but I mean, now I can, me and James, we're friends. I can talk to James about it, and I know he's been wanting a few of us to play this game forever. So like that's a great thing, and that's what Game Club's all about is trying these things, branching out of your comfort zone, and persevering and climbing the mountain, because we all climbed the mountain this month, and I'm proud of each and every. You should give yourself a hand, slow
we did
clap.
it.
We
Yes, we
did it.
climbed the mountain, and it was. I would say it was worth it. So again, like, is it a 10 out of 10 game for me? Like for me, a 10 out of 10. If I'm rating it personally, it's not. It's not my, like Lucas said, it's not necessarily my cup of tea. I like. I don't like to be punished that much. And I've played games like Shovel Knight and like love Shovel Knight. Like I think as a retro platformer, Shovel Knight is that 10 out of 10 game for me personally, because Shovel Knight does all the things that I am nostalgic about and brings it into like the now times. I don't know if anybody else has played Shovel Knight. Maybe we
I
should put
haven't
that
played
on
it.
the list.
Yeah,
Some
I
point.
have an amiibo of Shovel Knight, but that's as far as I've gotten.
Because like Shovel Knight, it mixes that sort of like Mega Man-y, DuckTales.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
love
somebody mashed up some Capcom and added a
Ooh.
scotch of difficulty to it. And it's also got a lot of rewarding mechanics like digging up gems and like finding secrets, and like it's Shovel Knight is a beautiful game. Celeste is more pure as a platformer, and it's punishing without that sort of like fun. I don't know. That sounded really harsh when I just said that just now, but like, it's work. Celeste is work.
Yeah,
Shovel Knight has a bit more like, you know, funness
yeah. I
to it.
will. I will add Shovel Knight. So we have now. Adam and I were going back and forth and back and forth, and this segues a little bit into our September game choices. But we have now set up, and I linked it in our Discord. So we have a spreadsheet going because we're always trying to make games available, trying to keep them at a lower price point so everyone can have access to it, and we're trying to keep it semi in realms of gameplay time, just because we want to make sure everyone can get through the game within a month. I mean, Witcher 3 is probably out, as is Red Dead Redemption 2, because you could play those games for a year and still not see everything. So
But that being said, like if y'all think that, I mean, if it's less about like getting through a full game and you just want to like
yeah,
do some play as much as we can, like if we were to do a game or a game that necessarily didn't have an A to B ending, that's more like, roguelite or
and we could maybe maybe we look at something longer, because guys, this is your club too. Like you chime in and let us know. Uh we're open to anything. We've changed a lot of stuff in Literally Wasted just on everyone's feedback, because we don't have all the answers. But maybe we take December and January, Adam, and we lump it into one giant game, and do a big open world thing or something. That could be kind of cool.
Cyberpunk's coming out. So
Cyberpunk. I'm so excited about that.
Michael's talking about Hollow Knight. I started Hollow Knight and like hit a wall. Like it's a Metroidvania, right? So like I got to a point where like I don't know what to do, and then I stopped. So I need to go back. It's on Xbox Game Pass. I guess people rave about it, and James is talking in all caps. So I need to get back into it. But
there you go.
Yeah, but Hollow Knight, Shovel Knight, all the Knight games. Shovel Knight, if you haven't played it, it's fantastic. I'm gushing about Shovel Knight right now. We're talking about Celeste, but I want to gush about Shovel Knight because it just, like, for me, it nailed it. And like just, and then they did the Plague Knight and the Spectre, and all that.
Yeah.
But
I don't.
And
get
those
all
are
that.
those are okay, but like I still like the OG Shovel Knight to me is like, it's so good. It's so good. If you liked DuckTales and
love DuckTales. I gotta get that treasure trove. Isn't it called like the Shovel Knight treasure trove?
You get everything.
Something like that. Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna buy it and just have everything.
There's even like a Smash Brothers Shovel Knight. I think it's called Shovel Knight. Somebody help me out. It's is it like Shovel Knight Brawl or something like that?
Is he in Smash? I think he's in
Uh,
Smash, right? Because I mean, I have an amiibo of it. Maybe I don't know.
it's I don't know what's it called. Somebody help me out. Um, Brawl. I'm looking it
I have
up.
no idea. I have no
Showdown.
idea.
Shovel Knight
Oh,
Showdown.
it's like a brawler with Shovel Knight
It's
characters.
like Smash Brothers with Shovel Knight characters in Shovel
Oh,
Knight.
okay, interesting.
Compete in one-on-one duels, frantic four-player, free-for-alls, battle through story mode. There's a story mode, but yeah, it's basically like that sort of like 2D arena brawler.
Interesting. Well, guys, we're coming up on our time. If you have not voted for next month's game, we took your feedback and we went with an action RPG for a genre. So we've got 3 different choices. We've got Okami HD, which has literally been on every system since PlayStation 2. So you should not have any problem finding Okami if that's the choice. Another choice is Hyper Light Drifter, right, Adam?
Yep.
Hyper Light Drifter. That's an indie game, and I think it's on every system.
It's pretty multi-platform.
It's pretty multi-platform. And then the last one is Trials of Mana, which it actually came out, and Adam pointed this out. He's like, "Which Trials of Mana are we doing?" And I was like, "Oh yeah," because I was looking. So you can play Trials of Mana, the original 16-bit version that did not get it released in the US, on the collection of Mana, which has Final Fantasy Adventure, which was a Game Boy
Love that game.
Secret of Mana, which was everyone knows about Secret of Mana on the Super Nintendo, and then a lesser-known kind of sequel at heart, Secret of Evermore, and then Trials of Mana. And I was like, oh, well, I guess that could be either one. But they also just released a fully revamped version, Trials of Mana, and that's available for everything too. So
yeah,
please,
like a 3D remaster.
Yeah, so there's a post in our Game Club page, so go and vote. There's trailers in that post too, so if you want to check out the games and see which one you may want to vote for, and then tell your friends about it, get some more people joining us. We stream a lot, and last night we had a blast. We had 9 people from Game Club on our club play night on Mondays, and we played Mario Kart, and that was a ton of fun. So
it was.
we try to keep Mondays and keep it open. Michael Thaxton helped us with Discord, which I still don't quite understand, but I need to make a post about that. But we have a Discord now, so if you want to connect with people there, we're all about building our community and just having a good time with you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, we're over the hour, but I think we've said all we can say about Celeste until we play the B sides and the C sides. But yeah, this was fun, and I have a big appreciation for this game. I think that it does what it does extremely well. I'm super glad that I played through it. It took years off my life, but I'm glad that we did it, and we were able to experience it as a group, because if I didn't have anybody to talk to about this, I would probably just go mad.
Yeah, I totally agree. So yeah, guys, thanks everyone for joining us. Again, tell your friends about the Geekward Game Club if you're having a good time. And if you're part of Literarily Wasted, our free online book club, we'll see you tomorrow night as we discuss the entirety of Stormfront, the first Harry Dresden. I got to finish that tonight too.
I do too.
Thank you, Michael. Michael posted a link to our Discord. Thank you, Michael.
I have 10% left in the Dresden file.